This will be my final warning about this Bitcoin chart. This Bitcoin chart is looking extremely dangerous and we need to be talking about it in today's update video. On top of many other dangerous signals that we will need to discuss, because we have just closed the monthly candle and we have closed below the 50 weekly moving average on this chart. We'll need to talk about that, about the short-term Bitcoin price action, about Ethereum, what will be happening next, and much more. So, as always, let's get started with a shorter time frame. And in a shorter time frame, well, Bitcoin is still pretty much consolidating in this sideways trend. Like I've been sharing, I do think that we're going to be consolidating in this consolidation range for about a month or so, ever since we have seen this huge liquidity wick. Now, yes, I do first of all want to say that Bitcoin is still trading above the 50 weekly moving average on the US dollar pair. So as long as we will still trade above the 50 weekly moving average, I will still remain to be bullish on Bitcoin. I will still remain to be optimistic about Bitcoin, and yeah, it's just going to be the matter of time until we break back above this horizontal level of resistance and the bull and bear market support band. If we break back above this level, I definitely do think that new all-time highs are on the table. If we cannot break above this level, well, I do still think that we can be retesting the 50 weekly moving average, which would be coming in at approximately at 103k level. Now, I myself am still long in the market. I have this Ethereum position open with a 150k margin. I've already took out 130k, and yeah, right now I'm in an unrealized P&L of minus 5k. So basically, I cannot lose on this position anymore, even if we dump all the way. If I set my stop loss above my liquidation, well, I cannot lose on this trade. Now, Ethereum did in fact tag the range lows again, and after that we started initiating this bounce to the upside again. So this is looking pretty good in my personal opinion. However, I do want to be mentioning that the Bitcoin price action is honestly very weak, because all of the time whenever we do have good news coming out, we still get a little bit of a pump in a shorter time frame, but still, honestly, the Bitcoin price action still behaves pretty weak, and this is not what we want to see. This is typical distribution behavior, and because of that, we want to have a look into the warning signals that are now out there. Because first of all, we are dumping below the 50 weekly moving average. Whenever we have a look into the Bitcoin chart compared to the stock market chart, if we not have a look into the Bitcoin chart in the US dollar pair, but have a look into the Bitcoin chart in the stock market pair, pretty much Bitcoin versus the stock market, well, then we can also outline the 50 weekly moving average. And right now we saw a monthly close below that level, just like we did in the last bear market, where we basically started that bear market, okay? Whenever we closed below the 50 weekly moving average, that has initiated the bear market and started the bear market. So this is definitely a warning signal. This is definitely a dangerous signal I do want to outline. On top of that, we are seeing a double Bitcoin bearish divergence over here on this chart with weakening momentum. Every single push to the upside is getting weaker and weaker for Bitcoin. We can see a loss of momentum over here and a double Bitcoin bearish divergence, and this is definitely not looking great for the Bitcoin price. I mean, last bull market as well, we have seen a single bearish divergence. After that, we initiated and started the bear market. And for this bull market, I've been saying many times, even in 2024, even before that, I've been saying this bull market, we will be ending it with a double bearish divergence. Well, that is what we're seeing now. And I do think that within the next couple of months, we are going to be seeing this end of the bull market. The top may already potentially be in, but we will be discussing that a little bit further in today's update video. Because yes, I would still like to remain to be bullish and optimistic about Bitcoin as long as we still trade above the 50 weekly moving average. Because you know what it is about Bitcoin, we can't just get one very bullish tweet from Trump about Bitcoin, and then we're just gonna be shooting to the moon. I mean, the Bitcoin market is still relatively young, and whenever some very bullish news will come out, well, we will still just move to the upside, even though we are getting these warning signals in a longer time frame, right? So that is why I would still like to remain to be optimistic about Bitcoin. And this time could actually be different. This time we could actually be pumping even further to the upside, and that is why I'm still long in the market. Now, we have also already seen that exact dump to the downside, like I've been talking about. After the FOMC meeting, we have seen this average dump of about 7% to the downside. We have seen that exactly. We have exactly retraced my amount back to the range lows for Bitcoin. And yeah, right now, one thing that I am observing is that every time after the dump, we have pumped back to the upside again. So that might be next, because every single time after the FOMC meeting, once we have seen this 8% correction, then we have reversed the trend back to the upside again. So this is one thing that I'm seeing in a shorter time frame. So that is also the reason why I definitely do not want to be overly bearish in a shorter time frame, because we might be seeing a little bit more upside in that shorter time frame, right? And if you are going to be getting interested in trading yourself as well, definitely make sure to be checking out that second link down below, because you can be claiming some huge deposit bonuses, also a 50% deposit bonus with that link down below, and also a $100 free coupon if you just register a new account. Bind your phone number and your email address, and then you're going to be receiving a free $100. So check it out with the second link down below. Also, you're going to be getting a 30k deposit bonus and a 25% trading fee discount, which is definitely very valuable. Anyways, about my Ethereum trade, I've been opening up everything in real time. I've been sharing everything in my Platinum group. I'm sharing all of my trades in absolute real time and every single update, what I'm thinking about the market. So definitely make sure to join my Platinum group with that first link down below, because also I'm sharing a lot more valuable information, like the reasons why I'm still optimistic as long as we trade above the 50 weekly moving average. I mean, the stock market is still exploding, gold is exploding, we have seen rate cuts, quantitative tightening is ending, Trump is still pushing crypto, the 4-year cycle effect is diminishing as more Bitcoins are already in circulation, larger funds are flowing into crypto now, and we could be following normal liquidity cycles now, and we could be invalidating this 4-year cycle theory, and this time around just pump even higher to the upside. That is why, again, I want to remain optimistic about Bitcoin as long as we trade above the 50 weekly moving average. I do not want to get overly bearish, and I'm especially bullish on Ethereum. I do still believe that for Ethereum, new optimize are on the table. I do not believe that for this cycle, we're just going to be seeing a liquidity grab above the previous ultima and then just going to be turning to the downside again. I do not believe that. I definitely do see new ultimas on the table still for Ethereum. So yeah, I am still very bullish on Ethereum, right? Also for ETH BTC, it's going to be a matter of time until this downtrend is going to be breaking to the upside, and then the next leg to the upside is going to be getting initiated. So that's also what I'm watching now, and if you want to be up to date about that, make sure to join my Platinum group with the first link down below. Anyways, definitely, it's a little bit of a rough, hard time in my personal opinion, because in a shorter time frame, I definitely do believe that we can still see a little bit more upside, and we shouldn't get overly bearish just yet. However, there are some huge major warning signals right now playing out on the Bitcoin chart, which should definitely be addressed. I mean, everybody that's just ignoring all these signals, I think it's absolutely stupid. You should definitely have a look into all of these signals. For example, we are reaching the end of the 4-year cycle theory. We are hitting the second Fibonacci level of resistance, and we are hitting that again. End of the 4-year cycle theory. On-chain signals are indicating a top, and apparent demand is also seeing bearish divergences. And again, we are reaching that end of the 4-year cycle based on many of the charts. We are creating a big bearish divergence in a longer time frame, and we are already breaking below the 50 weekly moving average on the stock market Bitcoin chart, right? So let me know in the comments down below what you think about all of these signals. Should we definitely indeed be getting worried, or do you really think that in a shorter time frame we can indeed see a little bit more upside? Because that is what I believe myself. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below. Check out all of the links in the description. And with that being said, guys, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.